So we're going to work using the distributive property with fractions. More or less, we're just multiplying fractions, but we want to make sure we're clear on how we're going to do this. To multiply fractions, we need a numerator and a denominator for both terms. To make a number that is a non-fraction of fraction, we just put it over 1. So we're going to put 56 over 1 and 72 over 1. And then we're just going to multiply. So we're going to do 1/8 times 56 over 1, or negative 1/8 times 56 over 1. We multiply fractions, we multiply the numerator times the numerator, and the denominator times the denominator. So negative 1 times 56 is negative 56, and 8 times 1 is 8, so I get negative 56 eighths G minus negative times a negative is going to be a positive. 1 times 72 is 72, so I get 72 over 8 times 1, which is 8, H. 8 goes into 56 7 times, so I get negative 7G. 8 goes into 72 9 times, minus 9H. And so then I cannot combine like terms with G and H, so I have completed my problem. Again, when we distribute, we're going to be working with fractions throughout. So I need to make all my non-fractions fractions, because I multiply my numerator into numerator, and my denominator into denominator. So for the first distributing, negative 1 times 5 is negative 5. 20 times 1 is 20. So I get negative 5 over 20z. A negative times a negative is going to be a positive. So 1 times 4 is 4. 20 times 1 is 20. And then it's going to be negative 6 times negative 1/30, which is a negative times a negative, which is also going to be a positive. So I'm going to get positive 6/30. And I'm going to get negative times negative, which would be a positive again, so positive 6/24. And I forgot my W and my Z. So now that I have that, I'm going to combine like terms. My W's are like terms, and my Z's are like terms. I need to get a common denominator, so let's work with the Z's first. So I'm going to reorder. Now, we can reduce negative 5 over 20 to 1/4 if you'd like, and 6 over 24 to 1/4 also. Or you can find a common denominator between 20 and 24. The easier way to go would be to reduce. So what's the biggest number that goes into 5 and 20? It is 5. 5 goes into negative 5 one time, or negative 1 times. 5 goes into 24 times. How many times? What's the biggest number that goes in 6 and 24? It'd be 6. 6 goes into 6 once. 6 goes into 24 4 times. Looking at our W's, they're also easier. I have two options. Either I can try to reduce, or I can see if I can find a common denominator. Again, reducing is easier because they're going to be 1/5 and 1/5. I'm actually going to work this one by finding a common denominator, just so you can see that both ways apply. So my common denominator between the two would be 60. 20 goes into 60 3 times. 3 times 4 is 12. 30 goes into 60 twice. 6 times 2 is 12. 1/4z and negative 1/4z are going to cancel. And 12 over 20, or 12 over 60 plus 12 over 60 is 24 over 60w. And then I need to reduce. What goes into 24 and 60? I know 12 does. 12 goes into 24 twice, so it's 2. 12 goes into 65 times, so it's 2/5 W would be my answer. Division, just real quick, when I divide, I need to flip and multiply. Okay, so I need to make both fractions again. So I get 12 over 1 divided by negative 1/3. To divide fractions, what we're really doing is multiplying by the reciprocal. So this is going to be 12 over 1 times negative 3 over 1. 12 times negative 3 is negative 36. I get negative 36 over 1, which reduces to negative 36. Same thing here, big division bar, so I just write it out. Negative 8 divided by negative 1/3. I need to make both fractions. I'll make a whole number of fractions, put a 1 over it. Again, when I divide them, I'll flip and multiply, or multiply by the reciprocal is the correct terminology. So I get negative 8 over 1 times negative 3 over 1, which again is negative 24 over 1, which is negative 24. The last thing we need to do is find the average. To find the average, we're going to add up all the numbers and divide by the number of terms. So negative 17 plus negative 22 plus 16, those are my numbers, and we'll divide by the number of terms. There's 1, 2, 3 terms, so divide by 3. Negative 17 plus negative 22 is negative 39. Again, opposite signs, we're going to take the difference of the two numbers and keep the sign of the larger number. So the difference of 39 and 16 is 23, and it's going to be negative 23. So my average is negative 23 thirds. 3 does not go to negative 23, so that would be my answer. We'll do one more, same idea. Negative 21, plus negative 7 plus 2. I'm going to have 1, 2, 3 terms, so divide by 3. Negative 21 plus negative 7 is negative 28. And negative 28 plus 2 is negative 26. Negative 26 divided by 3 does not reduce, so it's just negative 26.